Welcome to the Vanguard Recruitment Office. Here to join the cause. If you've got a ship and the metal to help keep UC systems safe, the Vanguard has got a place for you. Ah, pleasure to meet you, Captain. So then, to what do I owe the visit?
Do you guys have a tip line or something?
Tip line?
My family's actually lived here since the place was first settled. Gagarin's seen a lot in that time. Wasn't too long ago, this was a booming manufacturing town, churning out mechs for the UC. That all went belly up when the technology was banned post-colony war. Now we've got these outside firms buying up the old factories, bringing in new money. Honestly, I think we'll see this place get a real facelift in our lifetimes. UC Marine Corps. Served in the Colony War. I can't talk about the specifics, but I'm proud of what I was able to do. Being a part of something bigger than myself made me who I am today. Living in the war zone, you get a better idea of the value of life, of working together with others, of your own strengths. I'm still processing my experiences and how they changed my life to this day. I'd love to get some more people coming in the door. Any interest in helping me distribute some recruiting materials to a couple local concerns? You'll be dropping off recruitment kits to 3 people. Lizzie Aheo at the local watering hole, Chief Pretorius at the security office, and Dr. Keala over at the clinic. I'll pay you for the legwork, but I'll throw in some extra if you can get them to guarantee they'll actually put the materials up. That all sound like it's in your wheelhouse? If I knew how to do that, I wouldn't have to pay someone. But I trust you'll figure something out. So, does that mean you'll do it? Good. Once you're done, come back here. I'll have your credits waiting.
I'm Dr. Keala. Are you a new patient? If you're a UC citizen, I can look you up, get your benefits processed once we've done a workup. Oh, well, the UC subsidizes the costs of all services for its citizens, healthcare and beyond. Hard part is, you've got to earn your citizenship first, doing some job for the UC for, X number of years. I got mine serving as a doctor in an at-need area, as they lovingly refer to Gagarin. Other folks, they've done it through scientific service, diplomatic posts. Heck, you could even go over and talk to Zenaida about joining the Vanguard. They'll get you your citizenship in no time flat. Or so says Zenaida. Zenaida warned me this day might be coming. Look, I presume you're not getting paid if I refuse delivery. So here, I'll take them. I'm not about to pull credits out of someone else's pockets. But this is a medical office. I can't in good conscience hang those things up. First, do no harm and all. I think you're just wasting your time here. I know Zenaida means well, but I'm just not sure I'm comfortable plastering this place with propaganda, okay? All right. I'm willing to hear you out. All right, I'll put them up. Tell Zenaida she wins, okay?
Knew Zenaide'd start coming for my people sooner or later. Sure. Give 'em here. I'll throw 'em up in the office. Yup. That old piece of leather next helped me out of more jams than I care to remember. I owe her. Sure. Just tell Zenaida she's buying my next drink, all right?
You're not the usual courier. Please tell me you're his replacement, and that you're just here to pay me a long overdue visit on his behalf. What am I talking about? I'm talking about someone, anyone, handing over my exceedingly late delivery. Now, are you my courier's replacement or not? Are you now? Look, I'm expecting a very important package. Very important. What would you say to tracking it down for me? Quickly. I pay, and I pay well. Good. Let's get you on your way then. Akachi, it's Helena, over at Reliant Medical. Your courier never showed. I need his stops for the day. This is my I don't care voice, Akachi. Oh? And what's your firm's policy on losing our branch as a client? I thought so. Send it to my personal slate. Thank you, Akachi. Here, all the places our courier might have gotten waylaid. She mentioned a panel or something that you can plug his ID number into at each delivery point. They should tell you if he's been there recently. The ID's 8148. When you do finally track him down, you can tell him you'll be completing delivery. Now go get me my package. Please.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I've got a lot of shipments to process still, so let's cut to the chase. Are you here to claim a shipment in storage, or do you have some other shipping concern? Did one of my robots wander off again? Was it something else entirely? What do you expect? Robots never get tired. They don't need breaks. They can carry heavy loads. They're faster and more efficient in every way for this kind of work. And if I'm being honest, I prefer their company. When you've spent most of your life in space away from people, you learn to trust technology more than humanity. Well, it's owned by Unified Transport. We employ a mostly robotic staff. Fewer mistakes that way. We do short-term storage, long-term. I guess that's pretty much it. It's a warehouse. We do shipping. Enough said. You'd be surprised. Gagarin's had a bit of a resurgence lately as an industrial hub. It seems like every week we're storing and shipping more and more cargo. That reminds me. If this keeps up, we're going to need more robots.
Chronicles of the Mech Riders. It's a good title. You read it, right?
You got anything bubbly back there? I got hired at the Centauri Mills plant, and I'm looking to...
Ah, but the whole story is about romance. The marriage of man and machine. Action, adventure, heartbreak, humanity at its absolute most raw. Ever since I left the military, I've been thinking about writing chronicles. Interviewing other mech pilots about what it was like to experience the war strapped in, and what it's been like for us ex-pilots since mechs were banned. Deployed from 2309 till the fleet got themselves blown to bits 2 years later, and the UC waved the white flag. I was at the Battle of Mars when the Free Stars dropped in to try and blow our industrial output to smithereens. If you've ever visited Sidonia and noticed it's still in one piece, that's my unit's work.
Lure folks in with glory, then teach them about everything else along the way.
My goal would be truth. And there was glory during the war as well as slaughter. Chronicles would be an uncompromising view of all the facets of being a mech pilot. If I could only get off my tail and actually work on it. When folks lose a limb, some get ghost sensations. Feel like the limb's still there. Well, imagine that across your whole body. When you're strapped in long enough, you and your machine, you grow to understand each other. What the machine can take and keep going, and what the human can. We'd even sleep in our mechs so we could deploy faster. And since they were a hell of a lot more comfortable than the cots the UC issued, you spent your life cradled in the arms of a war machine. That's what it's like to pilot a mech, and that's what I want to write about. The armistice that ended the colony war put plenty of new laws into place, but the two big ones were no more xenoweapons and no more mechs. You'll get into trouble for even having mech components on your ship on more settled worlds. So those of us that made our living piloting them were left without a purpose. Which is how I went from driving a 1500 horsepower battle frame to working in a shipping warehouse. Sailing across the settled systems, hunting down all these other pilots, it's not going to be cheap. That's why I'm living in scenic Gagarin and not, say, downtown New Atlantis. Every spare credit goes right into the book fund. Of course, I don't exactly mind living in the same town where my mech was built, either. But once I've got enough, I'm gone.
Were you looking to just wet your whistle? More of these things? Fine. Give 'em here. I'll make sure they find their way to the incinerator with the earlier batches. Oh, yeah? Fine. Let's discuss. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to help her out. She does tip well. Suppose the place could do with a little sprucing up. Plenty around here who could use some more stability, that's for sure. Okay, I'll put up the damn posters. Now buzz off before I regret my decision.
You managed to get those materials passed out? Folks didn't give you too much trouble, I hope. Really? Never thought in a million years Lizzie and Doc Keala would play ball. Good work. Here, what I owe you for the deliveries. And for your top-notch negotiation skills. Thanks again for helping out.
Back at last. Did you find the courier? And more importantly, my package?
Think you might need to work on those priorities a bit.
I'm sorry if my straightforwardness offends you. Now, did you find the man or not? My God, dead. Well, I suppose that explains why my employee, Mr. Maximoff, disappeared so suddenly. And why the tracking beacon I installed on his ship was detected fleeing the planet. Here, your payment for finding the courier. It seems you've got some chops when it comes to investigation. What would you say to finding Mr. Maximoff for me? Seeing what he knows about where our data might have wandered off to. Mr. Maximoff was, and may still be, one of Reliant's most ambitious young executives. His business is Reliant's business. If he was to do something rash, like run off with Reliant's confidential and proprietary data, then it's our responsibility to know that. Hence the tracker, and why I'd appreciate your help in confirming if that's the case or not. Oh, I'll be informing UC Security, but speedy results don't appear to be their forte. I need Mr. Maximoff tracked down and my package recovered, and I need it now. Can I count on you to handle that? Excellent. Mr. Maximoff, Bonifant, appears to have set down on another world here in Alpha Centauri, Hawley. Go there and see what he may know on the subject of our fallen courier and our missing data.
Thank God. Ugh. You know, I honestly didn't expect UC Security to get here so... Wait, you're not with security? Who are you? Helena? Oh, you're here to collect Reliance research data. Not me, aren't you? Of course you did. Look, I didn't take the data. Maldonado, the man responsible for killing the courier, stealing my ship, and dragging me here, he's got the data. He's looking to auction off our research and frame me for the theft. But that son of a bitch crossed the wrong man. What do you say we go get Reliance property back? You've got my word, it's the truth. I was just popping out to grab some coffee when someone stuck something in my neck. Next thing I know, I'm bound on my own ship, listening to Maldonado blabber about how he's planning to spend the money he'll be making off Reliance hard work, which we're not going to let happen. You don't need to worry about me. We'll both be safer with someone watching our backs. Now, no more arguing. Let's go.
Now, if Reliant sent you, then you've had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Strickland. Lovely woman, don't you think? I just want to let you know that you're playing for the wrong side here. Helena Strickland is a credit-pinching hag who won't pay you a fraction of what this data is actually worth in the right hands. I, however, understand the importance of appropriate compensation. I will pay you handsomely right now to turn around, get back in your ship, and inform Helena that our Bonavent here betrayed her. That he killed the courier, stole Reliant's precious data, but was then tragically killed during the handoff with Ecliptic. I'll even handle the killing part myself. What do you say?
Quiet! It's not gonna work! It's not, right?
Sit tight, Bonafont.
Well, I can't say I didn't try. But, I've got an auction to plan, so I guess I'll just have to get rid of you myself. Ta-ta.
You're back. Without Mr. Maximoff. Is he all right? You didn't have to deal with him, did you? Maldonado. I know that name. He's a renowned data broker. Black market. I'll have to let corporate know about his involvement. And that you managed to stop him. This was good work. Excellent work. Speaking of which, would you be so kind as to hand over the data? By reputation only, I assure you. We're not the only firm that's had research or client data simply wander off, then crop up in the hands of a criminal element. And that name cropped up in more than a few of them. So it does seem that you've spared us from becoming his next victim. And here you are. I included a little extra for all the added trouble you no doubt faced. You have Reliance and my gratitude.
To what you were saying, that we're lucky? I don't know, luck is too small a word. With so many people out there, the odds of, well, finding you feels like destiny. I mean, look, I'm trying to play it cool. But you gotta know, I'm crazy about you. And, well, how do you see this playing out? How do you do that? Right when I think I've got it all figured out, you just rock my world again. In the very best way. I mean, I hoped, maybe even prayed. You mean it, right? There's so much going on out there. A lot of it bad. But all I can think of is how lucky I am. Because I found you. And I get to be with you. Well, apparently we're having a ceremony. Anytime you're ready, head over to Aquila City. Figure it's about time to make some genuine good memories at the Co-Estate. I can't wait.
Apparently we're having a ceremony today. Although right now, it's just me and the mayor cooling our heels here.
Jacob, it's a special day. This always happens.
No, this is my son and his usual sloppiness. Yeah, you're right. Manners. Welcome to my house. Well, in a sense, your house, too. Soon. Listen, you know, I know. Hell, the neighbors know my son and I don't always get along. I do care about him. He's blood. And he gave me Cora. But the way he looks at you have a chance at real happiness together. So, thank you. You got it. After the ceremony, it looks like I get to have Cora for a little bit. I don't know if you had anything to do with Sam doing that, but if you did, you have no idea what it means to me. Is she? Well, of course. Awkward small talk over. Lilienhart should have arrived at the starport. Might be nice if someone went to meet her. And better fetch Cora, too. She's exploring the city. Which means she's at Sinclair's bookstore because she's, well, Cora.
So, you're the one that's picking me up? Nice to see you in a less life-threatening situation. Hope springs eternal. Just to let you know, this shouldn't be awkward. Sam and I were never meant for each other, and we both moved on from whatever we had. Some unsolicited advice. Be there for him, all the way. He and Cora deserve that. Glad to hear it. I know the way to the Co-Estate. Meet you there.
Oh, hi! I got a new book. Charles Dickens. Fiction. Great Expectations. Not related to today. Or is it? What time is it? Shit! Oh, sorry. Swear. I lost track of time. I know, right? And Sinclair's is absolutely the best. I want to let you know I'm okay with this. The ceremony? Dad is Dad, but he's lonely and you make him happy. And I like your ship loads. Oh, and you, too, of course. It's way better than Dad's. But I guess it'll be our ship now? And it'll be part mine. Oh, I am going to claim a section to be officially Cora's thinking spot. I'll get to the estate right away.
Welcome, everyone. One of my favorite duties as mayor is to preside over joyous occasions like this. Couples like yourselves, full of love and affection and eager to share a life together. Well, it's a blessing.
Oh, we're a blessing now. Mayor's laying it on real thick, ain't he? I had mine with a side of delicious anticipation.
Sam, have you prepared any vows?
Oh, right. Here goes. Life comes easy for some folks. They get most things right the first time. But that has never, ever been me. But this time, I know I got it right. Because of you. I know you've had a tough life, too. But we really are the lucky ones. There are a million billion stars out there. To find anything that really matters is kind of a miracle. And as the good mayor says, I'm truly blessed because I have you in my life. Oh. Lookout Galaxy.
I understand you wanted a moment here, Sam?
I never met someone who knew me, the real me, and still wanted to be with me. I want you to have this. It's my Freestar Ranger badge. Looking back, I'm grateful. Because every step and every misstep brought me closer to you.
That's very touching. Excuse me. By the power vested in me from the Articles of Confederation, I officially, and quite happily, declare you life mates. Let me be the first to congratulate you both.
We got a rook on deck. Good to see Constellation getting some fresh blood. Former Crimson Fleet. An old Jacobones would be the term for it, back in my day. Left that life behind me. Even before I signed up with Constellation, I was retired.
Glad you two finally have a chance to meet.
Wish I could have been down at the lodge to see the artifacts come together. But I got a little lost peeking through the eye. That one's all on me. The Eye is the nickname for the star station. Think of it as one big telescope. Probably would have just gotten annoyed at being bothered. I'll catch a smile at our next big revelation. You know there's more to come. Now, this station, the Eye, rigged up for deep space scans. Barrett and Sarah teased out the signs of where our artifacts could be hiding after we caught our second one. But the data takes a slow ride along the Sea of Light. Years or decades between us and the fringes of space without a grav drive. No matter how good the scan, it's still just peeking at light, and she only has one speed.
Ultimately, we're not looking at a planet. We're looking at the radiation coming off a planet. And that takes years to get here.
Lot of interstellar bodies in the way, too. All that noise makes squaring the circle harder. Only going to be able to give you so many at once. You won't be the only constellation out there. Andreja and Matteo are both following up on scans themselves. Matteo went out recently, but Andreja, it's been a while. Hate to pull a worried old man act on you, but I'm an old man, and I'm worried. Another rook in Constellation who's making a name for herself. Likes to be on her own. I can relate, so I try to look out for her more than most.
Yes, indeed. Stop worrying so much, Vladimir. If she's out there, we'll find her.
She should be at one of the 2 sites I've marked on your star map. Can take care of herself, but we all need backup sometimes. Anyway, hopefully you'll be catching Fortune's smile, and we'll have some more artifacts to take a closer look at. Happy hunting. That's why I missed your little welcome party. Got caught up plotting all the data the Eye can give us. Wouldn't mind a helper's hand, though. Could speed the process along. Up-to-date planetary scans would help filter all the data I have to sift through. Maybe help to find the anomalous bits. And Constellation can slide a credit or 2 your way. All part of the mission of charting the stars, right? When you're orbiting a planet, your ship's scanners can pick up all sorts of information. Signs of life, resources, structures where they shouldn't be. It all gets downloaded into data you can hand over to anyone who's interested. And Constellation is always more interested than most. Then we're hand in hand in agreement. Now, get out there and burn some helium. I make the visit when they need me. Don't mind the loner's life most days, and the Eye is important work. But I should make the trip more often. Can't let Walter be the only one tending bar there too long. Everyone will forget what a good drink tastes like. Ever run the scholars on the Centaurus Proclamation? The original treaty that gave every human the right to colonize the stars? Stolen by some fool's joke of a Crimson Fleet rook looking to trade names to Captain. Sight to see pinned above my chair, like the whole settled systems was mine for the taking. Time dances its years forward, and I'd retired. That's when our own Sarah Morgan walks into the tale. Fire in her eyes and her head full of intel I thought I had spent the labor's efforts burying. Of course, I didn't have the Centaurus Proclamation just lounging in my pockets. Belonged to the ship and her new captain in the fleet I had left behind. Tipped your ear long enough, but the short line of it, Sarah and I returned the treaty to the rightful owners, and I decided to hang around, lend an old pirate's wisdom to the mission. Usually doesn't. I'm overdrawn from Lady Luck 3 times over. It's a long tale to tip your ear on, but if you ever wanted to visit, I have a house out there in the Starfield. Thought I was going to see life's eclipse from there, but Constellation swept me away. Haven't been there since we started on the Eye. If you do go there, turn the lights off when you leave, okay?
Don't come any closer. Identify yourself. Ah, good. I suppose I should have guessed. It has been too long since I checked in.
I'm just glad we found you unharmed, Andreja. Vladimir and I were worried.
You are the newest member, yes? Do they often send you to check up on other, more senior members? Perhaps. I suspect Vladimir worried you might find me on the ground, instead of this one. We waste time. We should complete our mission and then we can talk. You are back. You did not respond when I called to you after you pulled out the artifact. Does that mean Barrett's theory and experience were correct? The artifact grants the first person who touches it a vision? The fact that it has happened to both you and Barrett is already more than we had before. I think it is important that we discuss what you saw back there. That man. What I had done. It was, yes. I appreciate that you see it that way. A very practical outlook, not one I find is shared amongst members of Constellation. May I ask what your background is? Argos. I have heard of this company. Small, reckless. Interesting. I do not have experience with this profession, but I have my own experiences with risk. We both seem to be unusual additions to Constellation. Please, I would ask that you not mention to Vladimir the circumstances in which you found me. This is not the first time that Va'ruun zealots have attempted to corner me. If it is known that this has happened again, well, it has been a while since I was given an assignment on my own. I would not want it to be even longer in the future. Do you understand? You are unfamiliar. This is a surprise. Few have not heard of them. They are fanatics, having taken the teachings of House Va'ruun and twisted them into a belief that the galaxy must be wiped clean before the Great Serpent's return. So, in this I would say I have done the galaxy a favor. Yes, it would seem they have not yet learned how much it will cost them. But then that is their fundamental problem, is it not? An inability to see anything other than the path which they have created for themselves. Mom, this means we are in agreement. Thank you. That is good to know. I will finish here and return to New Atlantis when I can. You should go now, as they will be expecting us.
Look at you two. I'm jealous. I tried following up on some leads myself, but came back empty-handed.
They could be anywhere, can't they? Embedded in a rock, or in the hands of an unsuspecting novelty goods trader? A couple of scans from the Eye, but it looks like you got there first. Shame on me for taking the scenic route, huh? I catch myself just staring at the collection sometimes, wondering what it all means. Maybe that's how our ancestors felt when they were looking up at the stars for the first time.
They didn't just gawk at the stars, Mateo. They explored. They tested. Science brought us to space, not daydreaming.
I disagree. What's the point of science if not to enable humanity's dreams? And where do those dreams come from?
Not every dream is a pleasant one. I agree with Noel. The work is what moves us forward.
You're with me, right? Science or dreams? Which one is the true muse of space exploration? Neutrality in a debate? I guess your side forfeits.
How can you forfeit if you don't even take a side? You're getting rusty with your comebacks, Mateo.
Playing it safe, eh? I don't blame you. Getting mired in a debate with Mateo and Noel can be an all-day affair.
You know what? I just realized I completely overtook this whole conversation. This should be about you and Andrasia celebrating a win for the group.
I do not mind being asked to join in a debate. It was good to hear everyone's sides. But I do agree that we accomplished something together. Thank you for your help.
It's probably a flaw in the hypothesis.
I have no objections. Let us see what else we can find out there. What is it? You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. Honestly, I cannot answer that. So many years have been driven by survival in intense circumstances. Leisure time it's been in short supply. And I suppose I have conditioned myself to not think about it much. I do enjoy combat training, though I suppose that is hardly the answer you are looking for. You have given me something to consider. Thank you for that. I have done so in the past, when necessary, but I am not the best pilot, and it seems prudent to apply my skills where they are most useful. Lately, that means aiding you. And that, I think, has worked out very well. You might find it absurd, but honestly, the Lodge. I have never been surrounded by such a remarkable group of people, present company included. It has been a very long time since I have been someplace that could possibly feel like home. There are worlds beyond count out there, but that feeling is rare and precious. Thank you for asking.
You're back. So how did it go? Even with our best intelligence equipment, we can monitor very little from the vigilance. We can pick up local communications chatter and use long-range scans to see where you travel. But when you're on the ground, you're on your own. If we get too close, we not only expose ourselves to an attack, but we might blow your cover, and that could get everyone killed. Frankly, it's because we've never gotten this far before. The last agent I sent to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet ended up in a morgue on New Atlantis. Then things are moving forward. Perfect.
Nice job, Rook.
I was certain we'd fool Delgado, but never. She's a sharp one. Overcoming her scrutiny is no small matter. Did you discover anything worth reporting yet? If the intelligence I've read is accurate, Delgado is a charismatic leader, but a bit short on judgment. That's why you want to stay on his good side, and stay away from Neva. She's shrewd, and she's sniffed out everything we've thrown her way. I understand your concern, but you can rest assured that every member of this crew has been thoroughly vetted by both myself and Lieutenant Toft. Any information that you turn over will not be leaving this ship until it's fully encrypted and encoded. I give you my word. Legacy. Why does that sound familiar? Wait a moment. Are you telling me Delgado may have actually located Crix's legacy?
I have never heard of such a thing.
I'm surprised. I thought this was one of those tales that made it to every corner of the settled systems.
I suppose it's possible, sir. Intelligence picked up a bit of chatter on that subject recently. We assumed it was some sort of tall tale or a story to attract recruits to their cause. Well, let's find out if Delgado's chasing ghosts, or he's smarter than we suspect. Let me see what we have here. Nope. There are no records of a Gal Bank transport named the Legacy in the database. I think Delgado's trying to manipulate you. What do you think, sir?
I think there's no record because Gal Bank is hiding something. Delgado's no fool. If he risked his own neck to get that information, then he must be on to something. We have to take this seriously. What's your next move? That one's simple. We monitored your ships heading down to the surface of Suvorov. In fact, when he returned to the key and you didn't immediately follow, well, we almost thought our operation was terminated. Can you imagine the amount of embarrassment Gal Bank would have to endure if they listed a lost transport in the ship registry? Doesn't matter if that ship went down 5 or 500 years ago. If news gets out that a bank has misplaced money, it would tank their value. Clever, Delgado. Very clever. If I were in your place, I'd be trying to do the exact same thing. We can't let Delgado get his hands on what could potentially turn out to be the largest haul of credits the Crimson Fleet's ever seen.
Maybe I should head out to New Atlantis, sir. I could press the Gal Bank execs for information. Get ahead of everything.
No. Let's allow this to run its course. We have our agent here feeding us information. I think that's good enough for now. There's more to this than just finding the location of the transport. Jasper Cricks was clever. For some reason, he never got there. Because the Crimson Fleet would be a totally different adversary, and Cricks wouldn't have disappeared years ago. Even if they hid the money with that damn human computer Shinya Voss, our forensic accounting people would have found that data. No, the Crimson Fleet are in dire shape right now. They haven't seen that much currency, well, ever. And let Neva Mora take his place, or Shinya Voss, or any one of a number of pirates already gunning for his position. No. The solution is to stick to the undercover operation and determine how much of this is truly a credible threat. It's imperative that you do. If the Crimson Fleet gets its hands on a transport full of currency, it would be disastrous for the settled systems. I need you to do whatever you can to bring us more information. And for God's sake, don't kill anyone on that Starliner. You're both dismissed.
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Because the only way to achieve a win is by agreeing to play the game in the first place. Worst case scenario, I don't make the fleet, but I end up a couple thousand credits richer. That's almost a win-win, don't you think? Oh, sure, sure. First a tour, followed by a formal dinner at the captain's table. Let's get one thing straight. You're here for business, not for a vacation, so let's start by talking about Delgado's sudden olive branch. Well, I'll be damned. Someone from the fleet finally agrees with me about something. It's a goddamn miracle. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Don't play games with me. We both know pinging a message back and forth to the key is going to take longer than we have to do this job. We're supposed to be working together on every part of this. So, you gonna tell me what else you're here for, or not? Okay. So why are you targeting a Gal Bank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Merchant vessels, transport, supply convoys, mining settlements, you get the picture. But taking on a megacorp, that's a really big deal. Something the Crimson Fleet stayed away from in the past. Sounds to me like Delgado's either getting desperate, or this is leading to an even bigger score down the road. Oh, I see. We're playing this game now. Fine, fine. Well, you might as well turn around and hop back aboard your ship because you're not getting near Dombrowski without my help.
It would seem we have little choice in the matter. We should hear him out.
Well, well. It appears we have a mind reader here. You're absolutely right. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. You'd better, or you're gonna have to find another Galbank executive. As long as Dombrowski's on the ship, he's all mine. Of course I do. But who wants to settle for a one-time payout? I prefer to play the long game. You see, getting my ass back into the fleet means I regain access to Shinya Boss. And that's as good as an endless stream of credits. Fine. You want to play it that way, and suit yourself. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Terran Preservation Society charity gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt.
Oh no. Is shooting everyone an option? Alternately shooting ourselves to avoid it?
The event's a complete sham. Bunch of rich snobs getting together and throwing a party for themselves. These people couldn't give a damn about Terran preservation or any other charity for that matter. Someone with enough disposable income to afford a permanent six-figure cabin aboard one of Trident's finest space liners. Consider it similar to owning a luxury mobile vacation home. Plaything for the wealthy, you get the gist. Yeah, well, lucky for you, it's not black tie, so you'll be fine. This card will allow you to access the Starview Ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. He's a VIP executive, which means he either worked really, really hard using blood, sweat, and tears to make the arduous climb to the top, or he backstabbed, lied, cheated, and betrayed his way up the corporate ladder. From what I've heard, it's the second option. Now you're speaking my language. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection. Meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. They claim their goal is to celebrate the soul of the Earth, the culture, the people, and the ideals of the past. In their minds, Earth is now dead, which is why they feel that preservation of its remaining aspects is so important. In reality, this is what happens when folks with far too much time and far too much money get together to make themselves feel like They're contributing to society. You seriously need to ask. Okay, I'll give you 2 reasons. First, Gold Bank protects their own. Kill Dombrowski, and they send Ecliptic after every Crimson Fleet ship they can find. Not something Delgado wants, I suspect. And second, you offer Gal Bank employee in every single Gal Bank facility in the settled systems will triple their security. I'm gonna guess that won't help with whatever your plans are regarding Gal Bank, now will it? What the hell? When I asked you earlier, you said you weren't here for anything else. Not only did you lie to me, but now you're telling me that she sent you after the award alone? And of course, Neva just happened to leave that out of her message about you, right? I can't believe she's trying to cut me out of this deal. Without me, the award never would have ended up here in the first place. I spent months manipulating the Terran Preservation Society into hosting their gala affair aboard the Siren of the Stars. I had to arrange the event to make sure that the award was aboard the ship. Neva said she'd do the rest. When I got a message about Dubrovsky, I assumed she'd be tagging along to steal the award. But looks like she sent you in her place. She told you to hold that over my head, did she? Oh, that witch. Fine, I'll help. But you're doing all the legwork, and I'm still taking my cut of the payout. So tell me, what's the status of your plan? I once saw Neva strip down a UC security ship and sell the parts back to the UC through a shell company. If that doesn't put your concerns to rest, I don't know what will. Now tell me, what about the status of your plan? How can I help? Okay, then let me point you to the person in charge of the award. Her name's Sheila Holbrook, and you can probably find her in the Starfield ballroom. I'd press her to reveal where the award's hidden, and we can go from there. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. As long as you remember that I'm getting paid my cut, I'll help you with anything you want. What's the status of your plan?